Hey YouTubers, so I started another channel basically so I could talk about films and television, box office stuff, just basically pitching, different movie ideas and all this other stuff I have, kind of just any general speculation, discussion, even reviews, just kind of, talks with you guys that are just a little bit more personal and all that other stuff. I'm going to be putting on that channel, and this channel is going to remain just solely for Dragon Ball and other anime content. Just so you know, that second channel is not going to take away anything from this particular channel. I'm not going to be posting on there just as much, but at the same time, I do want to kind of spread my wings and actually talk about other stuff. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts and opinions and my guests' thoughts and opinions on movies and television shows and stuff, basically almost anything I've covered here and potentially a lot more other things and awesome concepts that I haven't necessarily had the freedom to do on this particular channel, please make sure to go subscribe to that one. And make sure to join me and my guests as we talk about our next subject, Baby Driver and the modern video game movie era and what they could potentially learn from Edgar Wright's new masterpiece. I hope you guys enjoy the video. It's been real. Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Fights That Should Happen in Dragon Ball Super, because they definitely need to happen. Anyway, I am once again joined by GeekListTV. MJ, why don't you say hello to everyone listening?
Hello, man. I'm here. What's going on, man? Let's do this video. Shit.
Okay, so
thank you, Big Sexy.
Not Big Sexy.
I should do my intros whenever you clap on my channel, right? Yo, what's up, guys? I got Mark from Productions here, Big Sexy in the house.
We're gonna kick your ass. No, okay, whatever. Anyway, guys, we're gonna get into the video right now. So, we are discussing today. This actually isn't a fights that should happen that I wanted to actually make, but there is a huge subsection of the fan base, I think, that is waiting and willing and just wants to see round 2, Hit versus Vegeta. Subtitled Vegeta's Revenge or Vegeta gets, whatever. And look, we're going into the Tournament of Power. We've actually gotten at least one episode in at this point, probably 2 by the time this video opens. With the recent leaks or spoilers, which we might talk about here, so fair warning to anyone who's listening. Please make sure to click off if you don't want to potentially get spoiled, but, approach at your own will. The thing is we don't necessarily have any indication that Hit and Vegeta are going to fight, but we don't necessarily have any indication that they're not going to fight. In fact, you and I know from the spoilers that Goku, Caulifla, and Kale are going to be mixed up in their own kind of grab ass for the most part for a while. So that leaves the door open, considering the fact that you and I have speculated so much about, I guess, potentially Kale and Caulifla having kind of at odds with Vegeta going into this particular tournament. Does this leave the door open at least a little bit, in your opinion, that Vegeta and Hit will actually fight? And if they do fight, how do you think it's going to actually turn out this time?
Oh, I mean, yeah, most definitely they're going to fight, especially, again, if you don't want to be spoiled. You might want to click off on this, but if you go by the spoilers, it seems like Caulifla, Kale, Goku to be having a convo like, hey girl, can I go Super Saiyan Blue, and then Goku's gonna be like, yeah, sure, yeah, I'll teach you. So you have they're gonna be their own little corner, talking about transformations and all that stuff. So that does leave the door open for Vegeta, unless he wants a rematch from Vegeta, which I don't think anyone wants to see. But he could that would leave the door open for a rematch with Hit. It says after a universe is vanquished, everyone's like at a loss for words, so that makes Vegeta very anxious, hey, we're not losing this shit. So he wants to jump on the next universe, and he goes after 6. So him up against Hit, I think Hit one shots, end of the video.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's exactly. Okay, but like, seriously,
I know you would love that. You're a Hit fanboy, but you would love that.
Totally, I would totally, but like, I mean, just in general, like, do you think that Hit would actually be able to take out Vegeta, or do you think Vegeta had learned his lesson and might be able to take out Hit?
This is a versus battle, so I guess I'll bring it in. This is power scaling.
No!
Not power levels, power scaling. Okay, so we talk about power scaling. Going off episode 72, I believe, the mini Hit arc, or I think Danny dubbed it Merry Hitmas because it came out around Christmas. So during the Mary Hitmas arc, you had Hit go up against Goku. Goku hired Vados to hire Hit to assassinate him, I guess, or something like that. And Hit comes, they battle it out. Goku's able to take it to him, and without using the Kaioken, him and Hit seem to stalemate. However, some people have the idea that Hit may have actually been a bit stronger because he got up from the scuffle, you know, fine with no damages. It just leaves. It's just like, see ya, you know, just takes off. So people have kind of thrown that around that maybe Hit could have been a tiny, tiny bit stronger. Either way, you have to look at it like this. They're comparable to each other. So when you take that into account, what happens next is in the Universe Survival arc, Vegeta goes into the Room of Spirit and Time one last time because he's banned from it now. So he goes in one last time, trains his ass off, comes out. I'm going to say this, Mark. I think it's safe to say that regular blue Vegeta is stronger than regular blue Goku. I think Goku only surpasses Vegeta when he uses the Kaioken, at least in my opinion. So with that being said, depending on if Hit is stronger or not, which is totally plausible, if Hit is stronger, then yeah, I can definitely see him defeating Vegeta. But if they're like around the same, it's going to be one hell of a fight. And the reason why I say this is because remember, he knows about the time skip. He knows how Goku countered it. So it makes sense, you know what I mean? Plus, you can also headcanon this. He's in the Room of Spirit and Time. He's training. What's he thinking about? He's thinking about his opponents. They mentioned that before, you know, in their last Room of Spirit and Time training. Hey, we got to think about our opponents. Now he knows Hit. Now he knows Vegeta. Now he knows Kappa, how they fight. He's going to be in there learning strategy. It's not just all about physical training. So he's going to be in there thinking of ways to fight these characters. You know what I mean? So he's going up against Hit this time prepared. It's not like last time. So I think I think Vegeta has a fighting chance, you know.
I understand that, but like you even said, if Goku doesn't use the Kaioken, he can't step to Hit. Or at least Goku using the Kaioken puts him above Vegeta, but Vegeta might be above Goku without it. I mean, but Hit was able to. If Hit's going all out and Hit, at least at this point, he knows the consequences of losing this tournament. And by the time that Vegeta actually sees Universe 9 get blown up, he is going to know, all of them are going to know the outcome. And they're going to be fighting against each other, knowing that outcome. I just can't imagine that Vegeta has in his reserves enough power at least to match, at the very minimum, regardless of any power scaling or something that we haven't seen. Hit got stronger in between his first fight with Goku. Also, Vegeta did. But did they both get stronger to match and equal each other beyond a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10? I mean, is Vegeta good enough at this point to literally predict where Hit, as fast as he is going to be within a second?
Well, I was going to bring this up. Because you're talking about power, I definitely see what you mean. People really overlook this. I don't know how much I've stressed this. I understand Dragon Ball Super has a weird and wonky timeline, but if you want to take this with a grain of, you might want to do it with a grain of salt. But in episode 71, the Mary Hitmas arc, Bulma crashes into Goku, and she's not showing any signs of being pregnant. Then you skip to episode 77. She has a full-on baby. She's about to give birth. You know, she's showing full signs, and she's literally about to give birth days away. That could indicate more than like 6 or 7 months have passed in between when Goku fought Hit to then. And if Hit somehow trained to get stronger, or I don't want to use the word train, but if he somehow got stronger, whether it's mentally, physically, then he could have done that after, you know, he fought Goku in 72. You know what I mean? There's nothing that says he did not go back and just do what he was regularly doing his missions and possibly even training. So if that's the case, yeah, that means Hit got stronger. Now that begs the question, what about Vegeta? But think about this for a second. Now in the anime, it's not mentioned that Vegeta drops to like less than 10% of his power from using the form. It's not mentioned. It's mentioned in the manga. In the anime, it's not. But we can still headcanon that Vegeta was most likely tired from fighting, you know, Vegeta, and then, Frost, Vegeta, and then Kappa, you know? So, with that being said, he probably wasn't at full power. But at the same time, with that being said, he was still kind of holding his own. You know, he had no knowledge of the time skip. He even thought of the plan to grab Hit. You know, let Hit him, grab him, and then hold on to him. Because I think that he probably thought Hit was teleporting. So he thought like where Hit would go, he would go with them. You know what I mean? That way he could like stick to him. That's a cool plan, and it kind of worked. Like we talked about before, Vegeta's a smart fighter. He thinks on his feet like Goku. So even if he's at a disadvantage, like I said, he's already seen Hit's fighting style. He saw Hit fight Goku. I'm sure he trained for it. You know, we already know that image training is not a thing. I'm just saying that this is pure headcanon to what he could have been doing in the Room of Spirit and Time. I think Vegeta could have a fighting chance, even if he's at a disadvantage in power. Knowing Vegeta, how he thinks on his feet, he already knows with the time skip. We already know Hit will not be able to use his assassination moves, the moves that he used on Goku, and presumably even more hidden techniques. You know, he won't be able to use those. So I think Vegeta has a fighting chance, but if they were to fight, I would probably start to give it to Hit, in my opinion.
See, okay, that's all well and good. I don't necessarily know. In fact, for general power scaling, what we know right now, and nothing that they're going to just basically turn up the volume to 11 at this point when Vegeta freaks out and decides to fight Hit, if he decides to fight Hit, and how Vegeta is going to interact with him, what he's learned in between all this time period, we just don't know. I mean, you yourself have argued over and over again on my channel, on your channel, the fact that Hit has this grab bag, you know, just like endless bag of tricks up his sleeve. He can continue doing this stuff, but at the same time, there's just been so much time in between everything where Goku and Vegeta weren't fighting and Goku was rusty and they weren't training together. There could be something that Vegeta learned, a new technique or something that would have given him the edge over Hit. But I guess the next thing I want to talk about, the very last thing we should talk about in this video, is who wins, for what reason, and how does that affect the entire scope of the tournament. And you know what? I know I'm a Hit fanboy, but I think if this is the way they're going to play it out, if this is the way they're going to throw down, if Vegeta and Hit are going to fight each other at any point, Hit's going to lose. Because I think after all of this is said and done, Vegeta, at least at some point, needs to stay in the tournament in order to be that fall guy for Jiren or Topo or someone else to show us just how strong they are. And putting Vegeta and Hit in the exact same league, fighting each other before they fight any of the Pride Troopers, is dangerous, I think. Like, because you need one of those guys to take the fall, and a lot of people think it's going to be Hit, a lot of people can think it's going to be Vegeta, and I know it sucks for a lot of the fanboys for both of Hit and Vegeta, but one of those guys needs to take the fall to Jiren, one of them, and I think it's way more impactful for it to be actually Vegeta, at least when story is involved. Not scaling, not anything that necessarily makes sense one way or the other. I think Vegeta is and will always be potentially the fall guy for Goku. So having him get the one-up on Hit is going to be the push and pull that we need as an audience to sit there and be like, well, at least he got his revenge on Hit. The same way that, you know, at the beginning of this show, he got his revenge on Frieza by basically just destroying him and then just one-shotting Frost. So with all that playing out, I think mano-a-mano, story-wise, Vegeta comes in there, has a new technique, has something like the Kaioken, whatever it is they decide to give him, he takes out Hit, like no questions asked, Hit's done. And then freaking out with Champa, he doesn't know how they're going to continue. At the same time, you know, given the spoilers or something, you have Jiren take out Kale, and you're like, oh my god, we're just absolutely done. But at the same time, you still have, potentially you still have Kaba and Caulifla doing their thing, and those people, almost more than anyone in this particular tournament, honestly, from Universe 6 have been built up. So if there's any two people who are going to last longer, it's going to be those two people, so everyone else can get taken out before they get taken out, just in my opinion.
It's funny because, what do you call it, when you think about it with Vegeta, it does make sense for him to end up losing to Jiren. I know I'm getting a bit off topic here, but just I'll talk about Hit and Vegeta first, then I'll go into the Jiren thing. So I see your point on that. It does make more sense from a story point of view for Vegeta to actually defeat Hit in the rematch. And I think that would say a lot about Hit's character, because he defeated Goku in the first round. He stalemated with Goku, And then here, he loses to Vegeta in a badass alpha male fight. You know what I mean? Just two dudes throwing hands, scrapping. You know what I mean? It would be impactful for Hit to lose to Vegeta. Then somewhere down the line, Vegeta loses to Jiren. And the reason why I say Jiren, like you mentioned, is because of this. Vegeta has been so cocky going into this thing. Goku probably came back and Goku's like, hey man, I fought this guy named Toppo. He matched me in my Kaioken. There's this guy named Jiren the Gray. And Vegeta's like I give a shit. You know what I mean? And then you have like Gohan with the whole teamwork. We'll just beat everybody. And Gohan's like, Vegeta, and he's like, leave it to me. I'll knock everyone out of the stage. You know what I mean? I'm just headcanon here, but I headcanon that I think Vegeta saw what happened in the Future Trunks arc. They went up against a Goku Black. They went up against an immortal character. They went up against a fused character. He's probably thinking to himself, like, what can touch us? You know what I mean? We train so much. We have God Ki, for Christ's sakes. You know what I mean? We're the pupils and students of an angel. What can touch us now after everything we've been through? And it's just because Jiren will be that wind that Vegeta just isn't expecting. It's just gonna blow through him, and it's really gonna knock him on his ass. You know what I mean? Again, you could argue the same thing happened in the Universe 6 tournament where they just did not expect someone like Hit. Here they could be going that same route where it's just like, who can do anything to us, bro? We've done everything, Goku. We've fought everybody. We've accomplished so much, and then you have Jiren come over here, and they kind of tease that where Vegeta had his crossed arms, being all cocky, and then when the Pride Trooper show up, he's like, what is this energy? Who are those guys? So it's like, I think it does make sense for what you brought up with whole Jiren beating Vegeta. So yeah, going by story point of view, I can see Vegeta defeating Hit for that sole purpose. You know what I mean? At least, my
opinion. And honestly, I think you're right. We just have so much time that is unaccounted for at this point in Super. We don't necessarily know how strong Vegeta is. And even just that line that continues to bug me over and over and over again is Goku's like, I'm just going to get stronger than you. He's like, you wish. That type of thing. It's like, what does Vegeta? Because I think story-wise, it's just Vegeta has something up his sleeve. What is it? Is it a new technique? A key blast or something that's just a kind of, or a fusion of two of his other techniques, whatever. Personally, like I said, and I've said before, some kind of a Kaioken power-up. I know people, I can't remember who, but people have commented on some of our videos that said they wanted Vegeta to have some kind of a Kaioken technique that instead of increases his strength or something, increases his speed substantially. Be really kind of cool, his own developed technique or something that Whis helped him do. I don't know, but it's just one of those things. It's what is he holding back right now, and how is it going to be useful in this tournament? And him taking out Hit, in my opinion, is something that's going to be incredibly useful and really interesting to see actually take place.
In Hunter x Hunter, there's a character named Killua, and he has a technique called Godspeed, where it amplifies his speed greatly. I think even his strength as well. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I haven't seen the Chimera Ant arc in a while, but it's he gets this whitish blue electricity all around him, and his hair spikes up, and only for a brief moment. Because it's literally, I think, seconds. He goes in there and he fights this dude who's overwhelmingly powerful, and he just starts throwing hands with them, just all over the place. The guy can't even keep up. It would be cool for Vegeta to have a technique like that. I mean, it's just kind of cool to me because the whole Godspeed and Vegeta being a god, it's kind of cool that if he has some sort of technique to amplify his speed. And it kind of goes back to that line, remember, with Goku, with my Kaioken, the speed has greatly been enhanced. Your time skip can't keep up with it. So it would be cool for Vegeta to have something along those lines. You know what I mean?
I would really like for that to happen. That would just be epic. I mean, Vegeta could lose as long as we get something like that, where it's this is why he has been so cocky this entire tournament arc. This is why he went in here. He fought by himself. He wanted to take on all these guys by himself. That's the reason. And after all this, he can't step to Jiren or whoever ends up taking him out, which is probably Jiren, would be interesting. And as much as I love Hit, I feel like it doesn't serve the story as much. Because we've spent more time with Vegeta. Vegeta needs the win more, and it would serve the story so much better if, unfortunately, like I said, give Vegeta a good win, like a nice redemption, and then have him taken out. It's just, and I'm sorry, everyone probably gets pissed off with us saying that, but just the idea is that's not only the way Vegeta's been written, but that's just kind of a stereotype and just a pattern, a trope in all of anime. You know, he's the fall guy. There's always a fall guy, and that's Vegeta. So that's what would happen.
Well, before we got here, I just want to point this out. This will not make Hit look bad whatsoever, because you gotta remember this. He cannot use his assassination techniques. I mean, on top of that, we need to think about what happened with him stalemating with Goku. There's a line where Vado goes, "Oh, he's a martial artist right now. He's not the assassin Hit." So they've been protecting Hit, you know. So even if he does lose to Vegeta, you gotta think outside of the tournament where he could use his assassination techniques. He could probably still kill Vegeta pretty easily.
Exactly.
So there you go.
So yeah, with that being said, guys, please make sure to go down to the description section below. Make sure to hit that link and go sub to MJ, because the guy makes some really awesome content every single day. No, but seriously, guys, please make sure to go check out.
What was
I
that
don't
voice?
know. I went with it. Please make sure to go check out MJ makes some really awesome content. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Don't forget to hit that bell over by the subscriber button and share this video out to all your friends. Anyway, we're going to catch you on the next video. It's been real.